one of the extra copies we're testing today. Probably just Strand Go. Am I reading this right? Did he miss a land drop? It looks like he did. He kept a one lander with Ancestral. That's weird. Oh, he drew out. Okay. Well, good. It's way more fun this way, trust me. Trust me, it's a lot more fun this way. Actually playing some Magic. But, let's jam. If I was able to slam the Tamio there, I for sure would. Thanks for the follow, Reno. It's our new friend, Scour. Okay. Yeah, Gel Pad. Thanks for the follow, Reno Gel Pad. Welcome to the BSMG. Welcome to the show. Vlog says I use Days. Yeah, Days I'm doing. You could mess around with Brain. I don't like drawing my opponent more cards. Speaking of which, if we can't resolve this Remand on this Ancestral, we're in trouble, boys. I think that we will, though. We're going to back up this Remand with double Spell Snare. I think we're good. I think we'll be fine. I think that we'll be fine. Unless this is like a Thoughtseize here, trying to resolve his... Trying to get his Ancestral resolved next turn. That would be bad. That's what's not to be good. Assuming that's what he's up to. Oh, Visions, sure. Yeah, Vulshok, like, yeah, Shrapnel Blast to do the Ancestral. There are ways to do it. I mean, the thing was just the Beck was sweet, though. I don't know. Ancestral, people argue this playable on its own. And it is. And the Beck Call, much less so. It's true. Yeah, I mean, we could like look into that, like Ancestral, Shrapnel, Brain, more artifacts, maybe Thopter Sword. That's something my team and I were looking into. Ours was actually just a Thopter Sword Ancestral Brain that we were coming up with. I think it was Esper colored. That's when we maybe spent the least amount of time on once we started talking about the land destruction potential of Boom Bust in like Jeskai Boom Bust. But that was fine. I think I get aggressive here, and you might be sitting there like, whoa, 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 why are you going to get aggressive here? Well, I'm hoping that he fights, but I don't assume that he's going to fight. So we can just kind of get this clock going for freebies, and then next turn he tries to get his Ancestral to resolve, and then double Spell Snare backing up the Remand on his Ancestral should be good enough. Here's the thing about Ancestral when you hardcast it. And this is something that I talked about with my teammates, some judges, friends, and we jammed it, we practiced it. Ancestral in a control deck, or even like a mid-range deck, you don't really want to be casting it in your upkeep. The Brain circumvents that, or I can just accidentally click through it. Okay. I think I did. I was definitely going to go for a Remand there. Can I explain why Brain is better? It's not necessarily better. It's different. Okay, so Isochron, goddamn. I was trying to go for the Remand and I just clicked. I am tired, though, for the trip. But, okay, so Isochron is different. Isochron, if the Isochron gets destroyed, you're 2 for 1. Right. So the thing about, okay, we can put them side by side and talk about it. I almost would look into like Crystal Ball though. If you're looking for comparison cards, what happened at the GP? I mean, I day 2'd. Oh, you mean with the whole, yeah, there was a bit of a snafu. There was. Okay, so they're different cards though. So Scepter only works with instants, Scepter only works with CMC2 or less. Brain does not. Brain is not limited by that. And it also has a second ability, which a lot of people don't think about. This sucks. We're probably still going to get toast here. Yeah, it's fine. I did mean to go for the Remand on the Ancestral, 100%. Just Noob says it was a show. So Wizards Protocol didn't work. We spoke with some of the people. Wizards Protocol didn't work, basically. Surprise, surprise. The programming or whatever for the tournament organizing just didn't. It failed. It didn't function. All right, Tazagur. He'd be like, but why didn't you Remand? I'll be like, I wanted to Remand the Ancestral. Moto sometimes, you know. Something that I realized really early on in our testing of Ancestral, though, if you just suspend it, there's some matchups where you really, especially like a Control Mirror or like a Grind Mirror, you really don't want to be casting this in the upkeep. We're snapcasting with no okay. Bill Nye says, "Hey Sean, great performance. Yeah, it was a blast. That was the best I've done at a GP that I can think of in recent memory. So it was fun to play something that I loved. The not fun part was judge call every round, but I knew that was going to happen. I should say nearly every round, because there were a couple opponents that didn't. But basically every single round of the tournament, I had to enjoy the judges. After a certain point, I mean, we became great, fast friends, me and some of the judges. After a certain point, I didn't even have, like, they were just there. They were just watching the matches. After a certain point, people were trying to judge call, but the judge was already hovering around the table like, yeah, his deck works. Keep playing. It's hilarious. Especially, like, as we neared day 2, Bill Nye, and the second day, like, there were already judges, like, kind of hanging around that were like, yes, his deck works. Keep playing. It was hilarious. That's actually really, really funny. It was super funny, Overmaster. I don't know if you weren't here when I was doing the debrief. The debrief was, that's where I talked about it, Overmaster, at the beginning of the show. But yeah, Brain is never card disadvantage if it gets destroyed, unlike Ancestral. Or unlike Isochron. Was anyone even playing after day 1? Yeah, we kept playing. Yeah, I was one of the people that stayed. Alright, command? Sure. Yeah, Tommy was sweet. Oh, the yes, his deck works, keep playing. It was funny. It was pretty funny. Yeah, the judges were great. Tommy was great. I mean, she doesn't die to Celestial Purge like Nahiri does. Yes, she's more mana, but I've been pretty pleased with her. I've been pretty pleased. I have been relatively happy with the spell. I mean, the Planeswalker. We got another Ancestor coming up for the opponent. Can we ult her before the opponent gets to pressure her? We shall see. Viewbot says, Tomato was my first walker. Yeah, she's great. I think she also synergizes well with Nahiri. So yes, I am still, even though I'm not that happy with the Nahiri, I am still running her as well with the Tamiya. They have good synergy. So we're going to see a, what? Probably like Taziger or Gurmag. No, I got something better, Crozian, potentially. Hey, just verdict this. Save the Purge or something else. I used to have Walker Prison with a Johnny and Tamio for locking down resources. Glad to hear you day 2. Yeah, it was a blast. Shot? Yeah, it was a blast. Some of the people that I got to... I mean, technically, I don't even have to, like... If you want to get super technical, I don't even have to necessarily... I could just, like, Tamio the Angler, and then, like, if he goes for the Tar Pit, we have Purge with a Dispel and a Snare to back it up. Technically, you can just tap the Angler. Whatever happened to Tomato, she's such a good walker. Yeah, I mean, I did the emblem one of my matches at the GP, day 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. If I go for the Jace, though, I can't Purge, Dispel, Snare the Tar Pit attack. So I'm not going to play the Jace. But he also is making me think that he has another Cryptic. So I want to hold up the Dispel. Alright, Cola Command for what? Snapcaster Mage. It's a little bit too value. I would consider the Dispel. That also is him trying to take the Tamio off the ultimate, so... I'd like to ult the Tamio before his Ancestral gets off. Ideally. No, she's a deceptively powerful Planeswalker. She really is. Oof, Dreadbore. Spell Snare. Told you, people were gunning for walkers right now. People are gunning for walkers. What do you got? Cryptic? He did have the Cryptic after all. Oof. Okay. Alright, well, she's dead, but we get to resolve a Jace. Here's the thing. Do you want to play this Celestial Purge right into his Mana Lake? I'd rather not. I would rather not. Well, I mean, if he has a spell snare, this Celestial Purge is going to work anyway. Where did you place? Day 2, I had a 733. Do you think you can improve upon your performance? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I had some players, unfortunately, a lot of those. One of those ties is my fault. 2 of those ties were not my fault. I had some really slow opponents towards the end. Which is weird because you'd think they'd be jamming faster. I mean, do we go for it here and just hope he doesn't have the answer? Let's do it. We got Metallic, Remand. Oh, Spell Snare. Oh, just Spell. Okay, it wasn't going to matter anyway. No matter how I did it. Now, if we'd gone Verdict first, Jace later, that might have been fine. She's dead. What was I playing? This deck. Except that and the Boom Bust was in it for the tournament. It looked like this. Just do deck list. It's the deck list that's saved. This is what I took to the GP. The problem is Boom Bust doesn't work properly on Magic Online yet, but we're trying to do our best to fix it. Okay, so he's going to double attack the Jace here. It means he's tapping down a lot of his resources. Is that a good thing? Oh yeah, I mean, like, we could draw like a, Jesus freaking Dreadbore. Yeah, I mean, that's a lot of the Grixis players I saw actually had the Dreadbore tech because of the Nahiri nonsense. It's not nonsense in certain matchups, though. In certain matchups, it's perfectly reasonable for the Nahiris. Seriously, I mean that. I was even thinking about playing it myself. However, I will say, let's just take out the Grubag. I will say that in matchups where you can't be tapping out for 4 mana walkers, it's just not a thing. Alright, we're probably dead after this Ancestral. Venser's dead. I thought Tomato was a tomato somewhere. Venser did die, yes. Went up Perch first, though. Magic Wiser, I think I should have... I mean, honestly, this is probably Taziger or Gurmag. Honestly, the mistake was... It was either me accidentally clicking through it or a magic error, a Moto error. Like, we had the first Ancestral, not on lock, but we had a remand for it. Now, the way our draws turned out, did we ever actually see a hard counter for his Ancestral? There's a Taziger. No, we didn't. And seriously, that's what I'm talking about with the deck, is I would love to have just more hard counters in it. Or non-specific ones. Like, if this snare... Now we're going to do the if, and, and buts. So this is the snare with the different set symbols, so we know it's the one that we're testing for just tonight. If I did have a different counter than this snare there, could we have remanded and then been able to counter the Ancestral with a hard counter later? Yes. I got to give him something here. You can have... Ooh, these are all gas. You can have Dreadbore, man. Saw a Jund feature with Dreadbore in hand versus Infect. Yeah, we're toast. I'm drawing like a Flooded Strand. Alright, let's jam another game. I just wish Jace would die. Jace is great. What's wrong with Jace? Let's jam one more. But yeah, this is the... So for the tournament I took Snare, Snare. The only reason I'm showing you guys something different from what I took to the GP is because these cards actually just don't work on Magic Online the way that we need them to. But yes, it does work. Actually, there's an article you guys can read, Ask a Magic Judge. Because I know some of you guys, for whatever reason, there are new people here tonight, which is great. Always happy to see you guys. Ask a Magic Judge, Rain in a Jar. You guys can read this. If you don't want to hear it from me, you want to hear it from a judge, go here. Just read this. Yes, Boom Bust is the first thing that they talk about, and then the second thing they talk about is Fusion. Those are both the things I'm doing. The thing they don't talk about here is the Ancestral. But you can. Or Living End, or Restore Balance, Wheel of... What is it? Wheel of Fate? Is the other... Zero? Spells you wouldn't normally be able to cast, you have to suspend them. You can actually cast them with Brain if you have... Yeah, Wheel of Fate, that's the other one. Yeah, I mean, you need an engine. Ancestral. They're harder to pull off